What's up, guys? It's time for me to make my AFC East playoff predictions. Let's get into it. In last place, I got the New England Patriots. As much as I love my Patriots, I have them finishing in last place simply because they have the least talented roster and they have the worst QB in their respective division. I think Mac Jones will be better with Bill O'Brien as the offensive coordinator, but the offensive line is actually a question mark this year. The weapons on the outside are below average at best, and this team just has a limited ceiling. I could see them winning 10 games at best, but I can't go over than that, and I expect them to finish the year with 8 wins. Next up, believe it or not, this is going to be a shocker to some. I got the Buffalo Bills finishing in 3rd place. What? This is a team that has won the division the last 3 years. Josh Allen is widely regarded as one of the best QBs in the NFL. But here's why I have Buffalo outside of the playoff picture this season. I'm concerned about Josh Allen's regression that we saw last year. The first 6 weeks of the season, he looked like a league MVP candidate after they beat Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. It felt like they thought they won their Super Bowl. They lost games to Minnesota and New York, 2 games that they shouldn't have lost. They were on the verge of getting blown out against Cincinnati in Cincinnati before the Damar Hamlin situation. And then when the playoffs rolled around, they went toe-to-toe with Skylar Thompson in a game that shouldn't have been close, and they ultimately got blown out by the Bengals. Another reason why I'm concerned is the loss of Leslie Frazier, their defensive coordinator. Without Von Miller starting the season and without Leslie Frazier's presence, I think this defense will take a step back. Not to mention that the fact that the AFC as a whole has improved and the division has improved. And last but not least, the Stephon Diggs issue. I don't know if he necessarily wants out of Buffalo, but I don't think he's a happy camper, and I think Buffalo is going to have a tough time this season. Josh Allen, Sean McDermott are good enough to make sure they have a winning record. I don't have Buffalo going 8-9, folks. I think they'll be a 9-10 win team, but I think the Bills will take a step back from their 13 wins, and they fail to make the playoffs. As my second spot in the AFC East, I got the New York Jets. I have some concerns with the Jets. Offensive line, Robert Saleh, and Aaron Rodgers. But they added enough pieces during this offseason. They have a 4th place schedule, and their schedule towards the back half of the season really eases up. I think they could start 3-3 within the first 6 games and then go on a run towards the tail. I actually think they'll go 2-4, and then they can go on a crazy run towards the back half of the season and get hot at the right time. Rodgers finally has an elite defense, and I think there's a lot of pressure on him to go out there and deliver. He may not be the player he was 2 years ago, but he's still a very good quarterback. And in first place, I got the Miami Dolphins. Now, this team could very easily finish in last place if Tua Tagovailoa suffers a season-ending injury. But with him in the lineup last year, he was a league MVP candidate. This team was 8-3. The 2 weapons on the outside, Hill and Waddle, are as good as any 1-2 punch in the National Football League. I think they made the best move out of all of these AFC East teams when they made Vic Fangio their defensive coordinator. He did not make for a good head coach in Denver, but he is one of the greatest defensive coordinators this league has seen. I just love the firepower. I think people are sleeping on them. They made the postseason last year, gave Buffalo a run for their money. I think the Dolphins shock everyone and win the AFC East.